Hello friends, in this video you can see this lab attendant is performing the practical of ISOT impact test. First you have to make the dial gauge 0 and you can read the readings in the joules, and this hammer will basically break the rod, and you have to put the rod at the bottom of this apparatus, and this is known as ISOT impact test. So now you can easily see how can you perform this practical, and it will be clear to all of you. Now you will be again able to see this experiment is performing, and this you will leave the hammer, and there will be the rod, so it will get break from the impact of that loading, and you have to take different metal rods for performing this experiment. Okay, now students, you have performed the experiment number 12, and now what you have to do, now I am going to discuss this experiment from your manual and what is the theory of this practical. So let's start. The objective of this experiment is that to perform ISOT impact test for the given metals. What is happening over there? We are applying we are doing a impact test over different materials like copper, steel rod and different materials, and you can also use stainless steel. It's up to you if you want to test 5 or 6 different types of materials, so you can do it. So after that, what you have to do when you will get your reading, so you can make the histogram for that. So what is the theory of this practical is that an impact test signifies toughness of material, that is ability of material to absorb energy during plastic deformation. So we are taking reading in joules, so we are checking the how much energy is required to break the metal. Actually this is the case, and through the impact test, because impact is what it is a sudden attack impact on the material. So toughness takes into account both the strength and the ductility of the material. Several engineering materials have to withstand impact or suddenly applied loads while in service. I already told you, suddenly whenever the sudden application of load is done, so what will happen with the material, whether it will break, and how much energy is required to break the material. So every material should have different properties, so we have to check it out. So of all types of impact tests, the notch bar test are most extensively used. Therefore, the impact test measures the energy necessary to fracture a standard notch bar by applying an impulse load. The test measures the notch toughness of material under shock loading. There is a sudden attack or sudden absorption of load or impact is maybe it's earthquake, or maybe due to the noise, or maybe due to the hammering. So now you can see this is the apparatus ISOT impact testing machine. I have you have already seen in the lab. In this video we notched a specimen of size 75 millimeter into 10 millimeter into 10 millimeter. So you need a material. So this is the apparatus, and this is the rod or material, you can say. You have to put it there, and then when you will apply the sudden load, so what will happen? It will break, and how much energy is required to break this. So this apparatus is somehow different, but this is the same apparatus which we have in the lab, and that is the new apparatus. Sussex University bought it right now. So now this is the scale. You have seen end of swing, starting position, hammer, and this is a specimen. Here you should place the specimen, and when you will leave this hammer, so what will happen? How much energy is required to break that material? So that we will have to check it out in this practical. With the striking hammer in safe test position, firmly hold the specimen in impact testing vise in such a way that the notch faces the hammer and is half inside between and half above the top surface of the vise. Bring the striking hammer to its topmost striking position unless it is already there, and lock it at that position. So I have already told you the procedure, how can you perform this experiment. And now about the result. You have to read the reading. For example, you are testing aluminium rod, then brass, cast iron, and copper. So when you will get your values, so you have to get those values in the joules. So obviously you have how much energy is required, so you will have to put it here. So obviously it will not be fit pound, so it must be the value which the reading you are getting on the dial gauge of the apparatus. So this will not be fit pound. So when you will get the reading in joules, so what you can do, you can make the histogram. And how can you make the histogram? So you can take x-axis, at x-axis you have to take aluminum, brass, cast iron and copper. On the y-axis you have to take values in the joules. When you will put it, how much energy is required to break that material or metal, so we can easily see from the graph. So you can make the graph from it. If I will say so, how can you do that? So let's have a look. I am going to open the Excel sheet. Let me open it and I will show you how can you do that. So it's going to get open and now it's done. So let me share the screen with you. How can you do that? This is the Excel sheet. And what are the materials? Aluminum, brass, cast iron and copper. Aluminum, brass, cast iron and copper. So how can I do that? So let me tell you, you have to write it down whether I am sharing the screen or not. So your metals, you can write here, metals. On the y-axis, you have to write down energy in joules. So you have to see the dial gauge yourself and what you have to write it down, so you can write it down the unit accordingly. I'm just trying to tell you how can you make the histogram. So there is another value is copper and then brass. And what is the next material? Bronze, cast iron. Okay, let me put it cast iron. So when you will take it, so for example, I am just taking as example, this is 34, 54, 55 and 80 in joules. So what you have to do here, let me tell you, is that you have to go into the insert option, and when you will go there in insert, so you can make the histogram here. So I am going to take a 3D column or 2D column. Let's take 2D column, and I am going to assign the data. So let's have a look at series name is, for example, impact, IZOD impact test. So I am writing over here. Then series value on x-axis is this. So done. Okay. And then there is the edit, and Excel's label range is this. Okay. And now it's done. So whether graph is coming or not, let me see. No, it's still graph is not there. So what I have to do, it is taking it like this. So let me edit this and let me put the values here. And okay, and now I am going to take it what? Here is this on the x-axis, and for example I am going to the edit option. So it is taking as a title. No, this one not. So what we have to do, IZOD impact test, and you can also make it pie chart as well. So what we have to do, we are moving towards another column graph. Let's see. If I will select this data label range, so what will happen? Now it's done. So it is the more accurate way to do that. You can select chart data range, and whatever the name you want to change, select it. So you can put it impact test. Impact test. This is the way, and you will done. Okay, it's done. So this is the way to make the histogram, and you can change its style and coloring, whatever you want to. It's totally up to you. And let me see this. It is giving me this design, or you can change its color as well. Color, or you can put some here, format data series, no fill. I am going to put texture over here, for example. So it's up to you how you are going to make your histogram so attractive and representing presentation, how the presentation is over there. So this is the way you can do it. You can make the graph. It is not written in the manual, but you have to do it yourself, so it will look nice. And then you have to discuss in the conclusion why the value of aluminum is low, and why the value of cast iron is more. So you have to discuss it. So it's all about this experiment. Hopefully you will understand it. And if you like this video and you will find it, this video is productive and helpful for you. So what you have to do, must subscribe my channel because I got 870 subscriber right now, and only 130 subscribers are left to fulfill my requirement for the YouTube. And follow me on www.nahishazad.blogspot.com. Thank you so much. Bye bye.